After an absence of 36 years, the Caribbean Festival of Creative Arts CariFesta returned to Guyana. Of course, it brought with it an outpouring of art, craft and culture to our beautiful land of Guyana. And during those 10 days, united Guyana and the rest of the Caribbean as one nation, one purpose, and one culture. During this cultural vibrancy, it also gave full recognition to our indigenous people of Guyana and the Caribbean. Not left alone, they took full advantage of this opportunity and made this celebration their oyster. And in so doing, their voices were heard, bringing home their music, song, craft, culinary arts, and culture.
Hello, I'm Mildred Akpan, here at the Amerindian Village 2008 in Sophia Exhibition Complex. Here we have the house structures of all the 9 Amerindian tribes. There are also craft produced and on exhibit here at the village. The demonstrations as well are being done for the way our indigenous cuisine are being made. So I will take you on a guided tour and show you exactly how we do our crafts and our foods. We have 9 Amerindian tribes here, representative, not 2 persons per tribe. They're the Waraus, the Mukushis, the Wapashanas, the Patamonas, the Arawaks, the Caribs, as well as the Waraus and the Arawaks. So I'll be taking you on a guided tour where you are going to be able to meet those persons, the indigenous peoples who form part of this Amerindian village. In fact, they are the ones who are making this Amerindian village real, and take you to how they get things done in terms of their crafts and their foods and so on. All right, here we have the Mukushi and the Wapishana. This is the Mukushi and the Wapishana building. And in the Wapishana and Mukushi building, we have Mukushi peoples and the Wapishana peoples displaying their craft. So we're going to start here with Miss Simeria. She's very creative with her TBC craft. This is made from the Ite tree, Ite palm. And because she has been so creative, she was able to make all these pretty little earrings, as well as these tibisiri chains. And these are craft from Aishalton, region number 9. And this is the Wapishana cotton spun. Usually this cotton is made for hammock, specifically for hammock. But of late, they have learned to diversify their products, and they're now making pretty bags and rags and things like that. All right, here we have the Makushis from Anai, and she is into making these pretty wall pictures and slings of various kinds. She also makes lovely pillowcases and so. Yeah. And we have Miss Mavis here. She's into making little cushions with various writings and so and designs. That's her creation. We have this Wapishana lady here. What she decided to do is to make her craft depicting the various things that we use to fetch our products with from the farm. This is the warishi. This is what you put on your back and fetch. Put your head across here and you fetch that. And when we go hunting and fishing, this is where we put our fish. This is our basket. And she also has this little fan here as well. And this one, while it's a warishi, you find that it's different. It's different because it's made specifically for the cows. We use bullock carts to fetch or load. So this one is designed specially for that. And she wanted to show the kind of warishes or the different types that we use for different purposes. Okay. And we have here Miss Rufina. She's from Napi. Very, very creative woman. She's learned to make all these beautiful little replicas of animals and birds from the Balata.
There's the figurines,
Yeah, the figurines.
and it's from the black tree itself.
The Balata tree itself. They do everything from bleeding it to the point where it gets to this point. They process the entire thing. All right, here we have Miss Calistro, and she's here displaying the other craft, her craft from the Ite. That's the Ite palm, and this is her creation.
All hands, by hand, put on their hands.
They're all made hand woven, and learned. How should I say? This is a trade that was picked up from generations. She has never had to go to school. Nobody here went to school to learn any of these. They learned it via, how should I say, generations. Yeah. Yeah, and here we have the sculptures. And maybe Mr. Simon would tell us a little bit more about his sculptures.
Yeah, well, the sculpture, they're made out, I would say, the finest wood you could find in Guyana. And they all represent part of our culture, our myths, our legends of our life. Yeah, we try to portray them in the medium, right, to show the world that this is what we does. And we are also self-taught. We didn't attend any institution like to learn this. Yeah, we were self-taught, and yeah, this is what we does. They all have different meanings within our life. For example, this one is the unity of the Amerindian. Regardless of tribes, as we said, we have 9 tribes of Amerindian in this country, but it all comes on the Amerindian, regardless of tribe, and we live with that unity. So this represents the unity. If you can see, it's 2 faces on one headdress, because we all wear our headdress, and regardless of tribe. And this represents the more physical part of our sending messages, like by our blowing or whistling, and this part represents the more spiritual part of our life. This represents the jungle. We live in the jungle, and you can also see like the environment, the animal, the anteater. We have the jaguar here. It represents like caves and different things, like with the holes we have here represent like the ranges of mountain, and what live here, the footprints, like jaguar footprints, and that's the environment we live in, like turtles, snakes, and different things like that. Yeah, and we live peacefully. Well, a piece like this takes a really long time, because to get the idea compiled together, it didn't come right away. Sometimes you have to leave it and do something else until you keep meditating upon the work and it comes to you, and then you go back to it again. So this piece takes I would say like over a year, probably, not working all the time, but just going back to it and like that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
trying to get this
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.